Hello everybody, Laura here. So this is day 41 of my 100-day project, and I'm doing a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout for you guys, and I am using the Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams collection. And all of these items that I'm showing you, I recently just purchased off of hsn.com, and I found the collection on there, and it was on clearance. It was only like $20, and I don't know if it's still on the website when this video is going to be posted, but you can always go to hsn.com and see if it's still available. So I really love this collection, and I'm going to be scrapbooking a picture of my mom, and I just have a couple of photos laying on my desk, and so I really wanted to get those scrapbooked. I have only done one other layout with a picture of my mother, and she passed away in 2002, and we don't have a lot of photos of my mom. She was the type of person that was behind the camera all the time instead of in front of the camera. So a lot of our pictures growing up, we just don't have many where she's in them, especially ones by herself. Back in 2002, that was obviously way before the selfie craze came around, so we just don't have many. And over the last 15 years, I have had her pictures kind of in boxes and, put away the few that I do have. So I'm really glad to be able to pull her pictures out and going ahead and get those, make scrapbook pages for those and get them put in my albums. And so whenever my kids are, kids, grandkids, whoever looks at my albums, I'm not sure who, but whatever, when they see them, at least there will be pictures of their grandmother in there with the rest of them. So I do scrapbook a lot of pictures of my children, mostly, and of myself, and then me and my fiance. But I'm really going to try over the next bit to really just try to get other people scrapbooked, and sometimes it's hard. I film a lot of the things that I do, and so sometimes I choose not to necessarily scrapbook people in my family because I don't know how. I would definitely want to ask their permission first, or maybe if I decide to scrapbook a picture of somebody in my family, I will, find a way to hide the picture or something, their face, or, something like that. I know that not everybody is okay with being shared over the internet. But, what I've done so far is I picked out that scrapbook paper that had like the big green plants on it, and I just didn't think I would ever really use that, on its own, so I decided to use that to put behind my white cardstock, and I didn't really have any plans for the layout, and I decided to fold up the corners and staple them down. I haven't done that on one of my layouts before, so I thought I would go in and give it a shot, and I just used my tiny attacher. And then here I'm going to be matting my photo, and I'm just trying to find a couple of sheets that I think will look good. This green marbled sheet I felt matched pretty well, and I don't imagine that I would use that. But, you see the papers and you may think that you may not use them, and then sometimes, you find that you end up using them, and so it's just different. But just from first glance, these few sheets just look like something I wouldn't necessarily use as a full 12 by 12 for sure. So now I'm just looking for another sheet for me to mat my photo. This pink here, which is another one that I didn't feel I would use much, it was just too pink. And I did see this yellow one. It's kind of like this basket weaved patchwork looking paper, and I really liked the yellow, and there wasn't any yellow necessarily in the background paper, but I thought it contrasted pretty nicely, and yellow was one of my mom's favorite colors, so it was only fitting to try to use it in the layout. And I'm just trying to do some different proportions with my mat, my photo matting, you know, just trying different techniques, just trying to make my pages a little bit different. Here I must be talking to one of my children. I don't know what I was doing. And so, yeah, this Chasing Dreams collection, I really love it with the butterflies. Whenever I saw, when this collection first came out, and I saw those butterflies and the pretty florals, and I just really thought of my mother, especially whenever I saw this collection. So I'm really excited that I got to purchase it and that I get to use it to scrapbook her photos. So I pulled out the 12 by 12 chipboard sheet, and I pulled out this big pink butterfly, and I'm trying to see if it'll work. And in the picture, my mom is kind of looking, you know, to the right and down, or well, to the left, if depending on how you're looking at the video. And so I wanted to have her picture in the top right hand corner up in that area. And right now I'm trying to get the sticky off the back of that chipboard. It is very sticky, so I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't stick down whenever I put it down on the paper, and I get rid of the sticky the best I can. And then in the end, I don't believe I end up even using that butterfly. But I do have the 12 by 12 sheet sitting beside me, and I know that I want to fussy cut these butterflies, or some of the butterflies. So I choose a few of the pink and yellow ones, and then there was these smaller ones that are green, like a two-tone green, and I think I just choose that. I choose 2 or 3 of or I choose 3 of each, the pink and the yellow, and then the 2 green ones, or the two-tone green one. And here is the big title. It says Happy Heart, but I didn't like how it was straight across like that, so I cut it in half so I can put it in 2 separate little areas. And I just thought that the title fit really well. My mother definitely had a happy heart. She didn't get mad. Sometimes it's so crazy to me how different I am from her. I would love to be just like my mother. She was a great mother, but I am impatient, and I can get angry and annoyed and frustrated, and just so many things that it just seemed like she never did, and it's just really crazy to me. So I'm just taking some acrylic paint, and that is by Americana. I'm not certain what the name of the paint was. It quite possibly was called Leaf Green, and I did some splatters, and then I wanted some big paint drops, and so I just took the paintbrush and squeezed it with my fingers to make the big drops form down onto the paper. And then this is the Dilutions, and I think this is rose quartz maybe. And I did the same thing, the splatters, and then I'm going to do the bigger drops as well with that. And I just sprayed a little water into the lid of that. That's why I really like those Dilutions. You just spray right into the lid. You don't even use much. So I believe I am taking the butterflies, and I think I'm going to add some foam to the back of them. And I just had this ladybug foam sticker sitting over on my desk, and I just grabbed stuff. If it's foam, I might use it. I should have saved that for another project, but I didn't. I just grabbed that ladybug and cut it up. So I'm just going to stick the little bits behind, I believe, the smaller green butterflies, so that I can give them a little bit of dimension. And I'm trying to let my my layout dry, let the paint dry for a little bit. So I'm kind of working on some other things on the side. So I really like how this turned out. This is the only layout I've created so far using the Chasing Dreams collection, and I'm really glad that hopefully I can get some more layouts done. I do have that problem. I don't subscribe to any kit clubs or anything like that, and I usually don't have the opportunity to actually get a collection. And so whenever I actually have a full collection of something, I'm really excited because I feel like I'm going to really be able to create a lot of stuff, and it's actually going to really all go together. A lot of the time I'm trying to, and I do like doing that too, finding, or creating my own little kits or whatever, but with it having everything and they match, and so I enjoy doing both. I like creating stuff and you just pull out randomly from your stash and it all ends up looking good together. But sometimes it is definitely a struggle trying to find colors that'll match or things that'll go well together. And so it's nice to have everything to match. So I just stuck my butterflies down and I put them in 3 separate areas, doing that visual triangle that I really don't stick with very much. I try to incorporate certain things, but there's no really rules to scrapbooking. You kind of just do what you do. But some of them do look a lot better if you do follow a certain somewhat kind of rule, but I like kind of just doing my own thing. Whatever looks good, it looks good. So I'm just taking some of these black plus signs. I just took a couple of those, stuck them down. I took a little sentiment and put it underneath the picture. I'm not sure what it says. And then there's a couple of these little word stickers. And I think I just take the one and it says love you and stick it there. I'm talking to one of my kids, evidently. I assume it's my kids. It might be my husband, but I'm pretty sure it's my kids. I do a lot of my crafting just during the day. When my husband's at work, I just come in here, and because after he gets home, we'll usually, do dinner or whatever. And, well, I called him my husband, and I called him my fiance earlier on. We are not legally married, but we have been together for over 8 years, so might as well be married. And I'm just taking some of these heart jewels that came in the collection, sticking those around the light pink ones. But yeah, after he gets home, we'll cook dinner and hang out, and then we usually just play on our phones sitting next to each other. Every now and again, we'll be watching a video or watching a movie on Netflix, and then we'll pause and start to talk about something, and we'll have some sort of conversation about whatever we're watching or whatever we see on Facebook, and then we'll go back to playing on our phones, and it doesn't bother me much. We're in our own groove, after 8 years together. And we still communicate just fine. We still have lots of conversations, and we have our best conversations, though, in the car, if we're driving somewhere, because whoever's driving isn't on their phone, and generally whoever's riding in the passenger side, we try to not be on our phones either, and we just make sure to have nice conversations. So I'm going to take this roller date stamp and my archival ink, and I'm not sure what color this is. It's like a light pink. And I'm just going to stamp my day down there. And I believe I put the date that I created this layout. So there are some final pictures for you guys, and I hope you all enjoyed. And be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you later. Bye.